in the face. You're listening to The Rob Dibble Show. Mike's hot.
We are coming to you live from the Traveler'S radio deck here. Rob and Ben on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell.
Sun's out.
Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
People's outfits are unbelievable here. We are sponsored by Big Y all day today and tomorrow. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never seen so many people here. There's 9 years I've been coming here. The rain is not slowing down the crowd whatsoever. The sun is out. It is actually really beautiful right now, about 75 degrees. So come on down. If you don't have a ticket, you can get general admission and get in.
I always say PGA Golf Tour events are some of my favorite events to take in live. I mean, the venue is wherever you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a general admission kind of guy. I like the concerts where if you can get to the front row,
I know you
can get to the front row. I think that a lot of these people are just huge golf fans in New England. And this one, you know, we get Bethpage U.S. Open. They got some stuff rolling in Boston. They play one up north of us just a little bit. But this one is the crown jewel of New England golf. We've met people from New Jersey. We talked to people from Pennsylvania yesterday. Always people from Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island. It's somewhat like the pre-Big E.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about fair food. We're talking about golf.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got some minus scores on the board. I just saw some birdies go down. We've only been playing for about a half hour.
Yep.
But I think the wet conditions, or I should say the soft conditions, are going to be well.
They're very favorable.
Yeah, very favorable.
Let's talk a little baseball right now. Yesterday, Tampa Bay smoked the Kansas City Royals. Zach Greinke pitched. He's not pitching well. This is probably beginning of the end for Mr. Greinke at his age. He's 39 years old. He's 1-8 with a 5.3 ERA. I still think he's one of the best, pitchers I've seen in the last 2 decades. But again, last night, not a good night for him. Lost 11-3, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 7 runs, a homer, a walk, 3 Ks. And if you've looked at his last 5 outings, 4 earnies and 5 innings, 3 earnies and 5 innings, 5 earned runs and 4 innings pitched against the Miami Marlins. He's just not as sharp as he used to be. Doesn't throw in the 90s as hard as he used to throw. His breaking stuff is still sharp. But, when you get to the point where nobody's intimidated by your stuff any longer, They just stand in there and they wail away on you, and it's tough to watch. So I know they've been trying to trade Aroldis Chapman for people that want to try to get a setup guy or closer type, reliever. There's other really talented guys on this roster, but for me personally, it's tough when I watch him go out there. Now, on the other side of that, the Tampa Bay Rays continue to throw guys out there, and Zach Eflin, who was a free agent, signed a nice cushy deal with them, 6'6", 220, 29 years young. He's dealing 9-3 on a first-place team with a 3.3 ERA, doing exactly what he's supposed to do, as be one of those guys in the middle of that rotation and just solidifying every 6 innings he can for the Tampa Bay Rays. Last night's performance was 6 innings, 7 runs, 3 earned. Not terrific, but enough to be victorious. Two walks and 7 strikeouts. Gave up a couple of home runs. So it's not like he's tricking anybody.
Right.
But he's able to go through the lineup twice, 2.5 times before you turn it over to one of the best bullpens in baseball.
It's just a really good baseball team, man.
It is. It's a solid team.
They're 53-26 already.
Yep.
They had 17 hits last night, and they don't really have that many LOBs left on base.
Yep.
Jose Sirius knocking a bunch in last night. The Kansas City Royals, I would say, well, Greinke doesn't get much support. They had 11 hits, but they only put 3 across with those 11 hits. So just Tampa Bay makes – like the theme of that place is making the most out of nothing.
Yeah.
And whether it's you're talking payroll or whether you're talking baseball, they scratch out what they can to win. And you got to respect that. It's not, hate to break it to you, prove it to me for 4 or 5 years, Cincinnati Reds, that you can do this on a consistent basis. Tampa Bay Rays, been doing it for about 20 years now. About 20 years. So this
may
team's not going
have
anywhere.
the best pitching staff in the major leagues. They have allowed the fewest amount of runs, and the best differential in baseball is 153. The second best scoring team in baseball at 444. Best scoring team is the Texas Rangers with 455. But you talk about pitching, defense, getting enough offense. They've got everything and a great coaching staff that teaches selflessness. And, when you got unselfish players and humble players that are just trying to get you back to the World Series, that's why Tampa Bay is so successful. It's not about money with them. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these guys would like to be paid a lot more money than they're making right now. But Tampa Bay, they get results. And in a statistical, results-based, performance-based business, they're one of the best at it on a shoestring budget, which is impressive.
I got good news and bad news in Major League Baseball. What one do you want first?
Give me the bad news.
Bad news is the Yankees and Mets both lost last night, and through 18 innings,
Not if you're a Red Sox fan.
They
if
got
you're like
9
John
hits.
Ashmead or Kurt, that's good news to you.
Well, that's also the good news is Bayo went 7 innings for the Red Sox last night.
And they won.
That's awesome,
Yep.
but, it's kind of average to Rob and me, but it's a headline these days. But still, love this guy. I think he's
got great stuff.
One of their
Great
best
kid.
pitchers
Yep.
in that rotation. They barely got runners on, and they won a ball game 3-1 over the White Sox in Chicago
Well, that's
last
pitching.
night.
You're gonna, you know,
Right,
if you
that's
can get
pitching.
some close games, you're gonna win. Listen, the Yankees were in a close game last night, and they just could not. Their anemic offense cannot generate anything. 6 hits, 2 runs, and Dunning started, but Barlow ended up getting the win when they went to extra innings,
Right.
and the Rangers got a home run in that extra piece. But listen, I watched most of the game, and when you're watching the Yankees, and even in that 10th inning, I think it was Connor Falefa, or maybe it might have been Volpe, and I think it was Connor Falefa. Instead of bunting the guy over and making it a 4-3 game, he swings away and he flies out to center field.
Yeah.
Now to me that's selfish. Instead, you've got a ghost runner at second. You can put him on third, and the guy can hit a sac fly, and with 2 outs, you can try to hit a home run. But no, you start the inning off by an unproductive at bat. Don't move the runner, fly out to center field, and you give confidence to the other pitcher. As an opposing pitcher, when I get that first out, it's so much easier to get the second and third out.
True.
It's
So
just the
true.
psychology of pitching. So I don't get their approach at the plate. I was on with Anita Marks last night during the game, and she was like, "Well, is it the pitching? Is the hitting coach's fault? Whose fault? It's the hitter's fault. At the end of the day,
Right.
It's like a golfer.
Who has the club in their hand?
Who's got the club in your hand?
Right.
And so when I talk to my players, I'm like, listen, guys, if you're going to be selfish with 2 strikes, I'm going to put you on the bench because we're not going to play that kind of baseball. You're not that good at 14. You might be at 17, but you're not that good at 14. So if I have a guy on second and the third baseman's back, you better lay down a bunt to move the runner. That's just part of the game and knowing the game. I shouldn't have to give you a sign.
Right.
If I'm giving you a sign, that's because you're not thinking.
Right.
So now you're talking major leaguers that are selfish. They have bad approaches at the plate. And you can't keep saying, Anita brought up the stat that they're scoring two more runs a game with Aaron Judge in the lineup. Who cares? Who cares? He's not in the lineup.
Right.
I see him behind the guys in the dugout, and he's all happy and glad hand and all this kind of stuff on a bad toe. Okay, dude, you're like happy you're not in the lineup? I'd be miserable.
Especially losing.
Exactly.
Especially
You're
watching
getting
these
your
losses.
butts waxed, and you're still happy about that. So, listen, Stanton is horrific in a slump right now. He's like 3 for his last 30.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything. I watched Josh Donaldson. He's overmatched. You just got rid of Aaron Hicks. It's time to get rid of the old guard. But is the new guard any better? Volpe is not good at the plate. I don't care what he's doing in the field. You got to hit 220.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Cabrera, they're moving him all over the place. Guys hitting under 200. So when you're saying, well, listen, we're going to keep you in the lineup. Even the Mets recognized this 2 weeks ago. Vogelbach's having a bad year. You're sitting. You're not playing. You're not going to DH. You're overweight and out of shape. That's funny when you're hitting 280 and you're driving in runs.
Right.
It's not funny when you're hitting $175 and you're not doing squat at the plate.
So true.
So I think you have to start making a decision if you're Yankees management that, listen, we're not winning with these guys, and now the fans are starting to revolt and rebel against us, And now Hal Steinbrenner has to address that. He addressed it yesterday and said, well, I don't know why they're so angry. They got 41 wins because your 41 wins put you in fourth place.
Exactly.
In the toughest division in baseball. And the team that's kicking your butt, that's got 53 wins, has $200 million less payroll and 27th in attendance.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
No.
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Exactly. How do you sleep with yourselves when you're playing this poorly and the fans are booing the crap out of you?
You say you don't understand their philosophies just because you know their philosophy. You just don't understand why they keep doing it, and it's not working, especially in the extra inning scenario. Now they're down 2 runs because they gave up a bomb in the first part of that 10th inning. So it's 4-2. The philosophy for every Yankee. I'm sorry if they try to tell me that it's not, but I've been watching this act for 3 years now, and this is the philosophy. We need a home run. That's it. Right. Swing for a home run. And nobody has to say it. That's what – watch the at-bats.
Right.
Watch the bottom of the 9th at-bats. Like Giancarlo comes up there, swings at the first pitch, grounds out. Thanks for coming. Gleyber Torres, your final at-bat in the bottom of the 9th. I know exactly what he's going to do. This is their philosophy. It's not baseball. This
was their bottom of the 10th with the Rangers closer in there. Connor Falefa, he flies out to center. Donaldson gets 94-mile-an-hour fastballs inside. He strikes out swinging. He's booed off the field. And then Higashioka pops out to the shortstop. Game over. You didn't even move the runner to third.
I know.
He's still at second base.
They're still waiting for that home run.
That's
They're
right.
Still waiting for that home run.
And you're going to be waiting for the home run. So Hal Steinbrenner can say what he wants. He's the one that put Brian Cashman in charge and gave him an extension for this mess.
Yeah.
And then you give Aaron Boone an extension because Aaron will sit there and answer for the mess. But you're not playing good baseball. The product sucks. And if I'm a Yankees fan, there's no way I'm satisfied with the product.
That's right.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more about the Travelers. As Ben said, they're already scoring and getting some low numbers out there on a moist green and moist fairways, so it's pretty cool right now at the Travelers Championship in Cromwell, Connecticut. We'll be right back on your morning to afternoon drive on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell live from the Travelers Championship.